Okay, future Mark here. So, somehow, some way, I messed up the video portion of the bread and butter Chardonnay. You're about to see what happens. It went blurry. Thought I was actually putting it in focus and didn't. And well, there you go. So anyway, there won't be an actual video for the Chardonnay, but basically the Pinot Noir video or the review is spot on to what my thoughts were about the Chardonnay. I'm going to go ahead and show you the winery here. I'm not going to zoom in from space. It's in Napa Valley. I think you can figure out where Napa Valley is. This is where it's at. It's a tasting room and there is a winery. Not sure if those vineyards are owned by them. I don't think they are. But you can go into the tasting room and they do have some Napa wines that are on their site. I don't know if they're still available, but when you make a reservation for a tasting, that's what you're getting a tasting of. It's owned by a large company called WX Brands. And the winemaker they have gets lots of accolades, and she's actually been with the company for quite a while. So, so I mean, there's somebody who knows what they're doing. And bottom line is, the wines taste kind of what a typical California wine should taste like. All right, stats here for you, and pretty basic, nothing crazy. We don't really have much at all, other than we have a oak treatment on the text sheet, and we have the alcohol statement. Oak treatment, I'll just say that it's most likely staves and not actual oak barrels, especially for $16 retail. Nothing wrong with this. It's just a great way to get the flavors of oak without spending a ton of money on barrels. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want the flavor, not necessarily all the other things that a barrel does. And if you use oak staves or oak chips, perfect. I have no problem with that. All right, so let's move on to the Pinot Noir.
Hello everybody, welcome to Wine World TV, the best wine show anywhere. I'm your host, Mark Fusco. Before we get started, make sure you're smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. Every like and subscription helps build the channel. Even better, spread the word to your friends about the best wine show anywhere. So I mentioned at the very end of the last episode, I've hit 1,000 subscribers. So I'm recording these videos on May 26th, Memorial Day, and last week I hit 1,000. I think I'm still at 1,000. I'm not going to go check right now. Hit 1,000. So it's super important to me that I hit the 1,000. Now I thought I was going to hit 1,000 a couple years ago because I was getting some really great traction, and then things like, ooh. But anyway, so now I need all of you 1,000 subscribers to watch more of the videos, and everybody else to watch the videos and watch them for longer. Watch them to the end. These are good videos. Anyway, because I only have 1,000 watch hours over a 12-month period, I need 4,000 watch hours. So I need you to watch 3 times more videos, or 4 times more videos. And when that happens, I'll start making some money from Google. Maybe like, I can buy a soda or something like that every week. Anyway, so yes, super important. Thank you for everyone who subscribes to the show. All right, so this time for part 2 of my 3-part series of bread and butter wines. Last time I reviewed the Chardonnay and talked about the lack of history. I was also hypercritical of this. There's nothing else to talk about, so let's just get the stats for this wine. The 2023 Bread and Butter California Pinot Noir, suggested retail price $16. From California, it's Pinot Noir. Oak treatment, French oak, 40% new, ABV 13.5%. Okay, so oak treatment, yes, same as last time, given the retail price of $16 and how this is worded, I guarantee you they aren't using new French oak barrels for the 40%. They're probably using staves or something like that. Maybe some oak barrels are involved somewhere online, but not at $16. All righty. So, I thought the Chardonnay was pretty decent. I mean, not my style, but I thought it was, let's see what's going on here. I think my needle got loose. It did. That happens occasionally. Especially when you have to, especially if you do wiggle, if you're wiggling the, the Corbin when you're trying to pull it out. But, I mean, the Chardonnay was fine. Wasn't my style, but I think it's well made in the sense that a lot of people will like it. So, let's make sure that's tight. It is. So, you are supposed to, just so you know, any reps, if you watch my stuff, please, you're supposed to sparge the needle before you put it into the wine, and then you sparge it afterwards. This is to, one, the before is to get any oxygen out, or, put argon gas into the needle ahead of time. So when you stick it in there, you're not putting extra oxygen into your wine. And then the afterwards is to sparge out any wine that's going to be in the needle. That's why you see me do it over the glass or over the spit bucket. All right, color-wise, it's pretty light. I mean, I love this part. It's actually, a light, translucent, red, kind of ruby. There is a touch of orange to it. So it looks like it's older than it is. So that's the only thing that's a little concerning. But I mean, otherwise, we're not talking, not to be hypercritical, but we're not talking Meiomi here, which is opaque. That's not Pinot, dude. I mean, you may tell me it's 100% Pinot or Belle Gloss. Sorry, what's his nuts? Your videos are fun on Instagram, when I was on Instagram. But that's not Pinot, dude. All right, on the nose, it's pretty tight. There's not much going on. I mean, I get like a hint of red fruit, this kind of dry, and I feel like there's a little bit of earth going on here, which I'm like, okay, this is a good start. But it's super slight. I don't really get much, so let's just get on the palate. Just like the Chardonnay, it pretty much checks the boxes. The fruit. So the fruit is more in the raspberry, almost candied raspberry side of things rather than cherry. But if I'm going to say there's any cherry in it, there's more of a darker cherry. And the wine is dry, okay? But it has a sweetness to it that isn't necessarily my thing. Tastes like pretty much most California Pinot Noirs that are just listed as California, not when you get into things like Russian River Valley or Monterey or something like that. Now, second tasting, fruit's still there, slightly dialed back. I get more wood, not oak, but more wood going on, more rusticity, more earthiness, a little potpourri going on here. Okay, that's good. A touch of earth. So the first sip was kind of hit really hard on the fruit, and now the second one is kind of balanced out with, okay, we're not hitting so hard on the fruit, and we dialed it back, and we have the little earths coming through. Let's see what happens on the third. Yeah. So Pinot Noirs like this, and in general from California, even the ones that are more specifically appellated, like a Russian River, in Monterey, whatever, they have this flavor. Now, I've talked about the bug spray thing plenty of times. It does not have the bug spray. It's not necessarily chemical. But there's like a smokiness. It's not smoke taint. There's this kind of, I don't know, just I can't explain it. It sometimes comes across as roasted coffee. But there's something, and Pinot specifically gets this, and it's really California in general. I have gotten it in other places, and it's just not my thing. But again, like the Chardonnay, I think this Pinot, for people who want something that tastes like a Pinot and looks like a Pinot and acts like a Pinot, and they're not spending $50, and that's, whether they're spending $20, $16, or $50, this is going to meet their criteria. So I think, again, they did a great job. Linda, I think you and your team did a great job in making a Pinot that will appeal to a lot of people. It's not necessarily my style. Now, this is not to say I'm not going to drink this wine at some point. I will. I might. It's super light. It's super easy to drink. It is refreshing. I mean, it tastes pretty good for what it is. Just there's other Pinots I'd prefer. That's all. But yeah, if you're looking for something that's going to be solid and reliable, and $16, yeah, I say go for it. Yeah, I say go for it. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and tell your friends. And we'll see you next time with one more bread and butter.